everybody. Welcome to Breakout Racing League. We're here for tier number 1. We're at the British Grand Prix. And joining me with the ever-laughter, Katra. Welcome.
I was looking at something else and didn't even see it. So we were back at the track that held the first Grand Prix for the Formula 1 Championship 71 years ago with Giuseppe Farina and his Alfa Romeo coming home with that victory 71 years later. Alfa Romeo is absolutely destroying the competition in the Constructors' battle, and, well, hopefully we'll see how that works out tonight, because it's going to be a full wet race with this 5.891 kilometer circuit. 3.661 mile, has 18 corners, 8 to the left, 10 to the right, with 2 DRS zones, which won't even be active because the drivers have no DRS.
Okay, just wanted to confirm to you, we are live, we are good. Apologies for the lateness. Hey, first time this season I've had to worry about restarting before qualifying, so it's a pretty good track record for me. New Zealand Ryan on top of the moment with 26.517. The top of the tree at the moment. We've got XF1 in position number 4 here at the moment, and of course, as Katra said, it is a fully wet Grand Prix. What could that mean? Who knows? Because, well, it's wet conditions. It could mean either chaos or it could mean, well, not great racing. Who knows? P2 for XF1 in the Mercedes goes to second at the moment. Championship leader Bailey's all the way down to P14, but of course Bailey is in a great position in the championship right now with a good points haul at the moment over, well, pretty much everybody at the moment. Same with Alfa Romeo in the championship as of right now. But Bailey right now 6 tenths up and looking the good so far in this lap at the moment. And I would like to point out it is not 15 minutes to go in the session. Obviously, I'm a bit behind time as Bailey comes to the final.
Yes, the exact time is... the exact time is about 7 minutes, 45 seconds, so go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, great game. As Bailey goes to P2, championship leader up into second in the Alfa Romeo.
Yep, so it's a wet race, and the last time a wet race happened, by the way, I want to point out, Neymar goes to 5th. The last time a wet race happened here at Silverstone actually was a season ago, in Season 6 of Tier 1, and well, that race was won by BRL Perandi, but he did have to escape the clutches of New Zealand Ryan. And, well, guess where he is right now?
Yes, as we see Jared now coming up to the end of his run. We will go on board with a lap with somebody very soon. Of course, a bit late to see starting the session, the stream, as we watch the end of Jared's lap time here in the McLaren. Let's see what he can possibly do here at the moment. To the line, and he goes P6. Here in the McLaren Hoop. Up is in position number 5 at the moment. Crispy in position number 3, and Bailey in position number 2 here at the moment, as Maniko on the rest of his run. He's actually finished his run. I think he's actually started the run actually. Deer Hunter starting off a lap time down in the first sector. Mumu coming up to the end of his run as well in the Alpha Tauri here at the moment. It's very close throughout the field at the moment, as expected here at the British Grand Prix, a track that can definitely bring the closeness and the DRS trains. Well, of course, as we said at the start of this stream, as movement goes P2, the DRS trains are not going to be a thing here tonight because of the wet conditions.
Well, the most comparable race we can really go after is Tier 4. I had a similar circumstance. They had intermediate, kind of light rain conditions. Once again, no DRS for them. That's going to be what the mark of these drivers can. It's going to be difficult to overtake, and it's really going to be about who can stay on the track and who can take care of if it's going to be a full wet race, who can take care of their full wets. If it's going to be an intermediate race, who can take care of their intermediates. Well, usually at this point in the race, I would say, well, this is where we have, the C blank, 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 and blank. Well, right now, it may not even come to occurrence. Well, if you do want to know, it's the C3, C2, and C1 tire, the hardest range for Pirelli right now. Everyone's on the softs regardless. That's the fastest time they've set, because everyone is going to start on the wets regardless. So everyone's going to have equal playing field and all have fresh set of wets for the race.
Yeah, fresh set of wets, or into, well, most likely wets. So it's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out here tonight. Wet conditions, anything can go down, no doubt about it. Sinav coming up to the end of his lap here, and let's see what Sinav can do here to the line. Goes 7th in the Ferrari, and I just want to point out, half a second pretty much separates from 1st to 13th. Quite incredible.
Wow, that is actually really incredible. Shows right now what I guess these drivers are really on the limit. They're really finding that pace in that time, and it's really close once again as everyone from first to 18th is actually within a second. Disregarding Fast AD right now in 19th, who probably had a banker lap on his time. So he's going to go and get an improvement as the session goes on. The session's going to rub in, the track's going to have a lot quicker times, and he's going to go up the field like he should. So, regardless, the rest of this year, once again, really, really close. We'll see how that weighs out in the race. And they wet compounded tire.
No doubt about it. And the Alpines near each other here at the moment, and hopefully Cookie does not come into the pits here and does a good can do a lappy for me. Yes, he is. Thank goodness me. All right, let's take you on board for a lap around at Silverstone. It's the British Grand Prix, and let's see what Boss Cookie can do on this lap in the Alpine. Coming up to turn one, obviously one of the most parts of the circuits where you can definitely get a track limit penalty to the right. But as we come through turn number 3 and 4, tough part of the circuit really to get absolutely right with your lap. If you can, you could screw it up quite easily, but you need to get the perfect run onto the straight out of turn 5. And now we're coming down the straight here at the moment to 6 and 7, coming up to left field in a matter of moments. The old final corner here at Silverstone, still the final corner in some races in other motorsports on that race here at Silverstone. And now we're coming up to Copse, famous corner of course where Lewis Hamilton took out Max Verstappen earlier this year. I had to get that in there. I apologise to the Hamilton fans out there. As we come up to Maggots and Beckets, we don't want to talk about this corner at all. Don't talk about it, especially after what happened yesterday to yours truly. As we come up to Chapel as well. Not a bad lap so far here from Boss Cookie. Not too bad, but not really up on his time, unless the time he's about to gain is out of this last sector. Through Stowe. And it's looking it's a very decent lap here for Boss Cookie. Is it going to be enough to be on the pace? Coming up through the final 3 corners for a club, and if he can get this right, we'll see what time it could be for Cookie. To the line, it's to the top, 26.514. He gets it by 0.02 over New Zealand Ryan and gets it done, but everyone else has got a bit more under them in the final stages of this one, even though my timer says 10 minutes to go, but it's matter of minutes ago here in qualifying.
Yes, 2 minutes and about 8 seconds to be exact. And you know, Mitchie, the first step of getting over what happened, especially trauma, is to talk about it. So you want to talk about it?
No, we don't. As Crispy now is beginning his lap here at the moment, and of course Catrick in the P2 yesterday in Silverstone, where it was the. I was going to talk about strategy here tonight, but there's no point since it's raining. So, yeah.
Well, actually, there still technically is a little bit of strategy. We saw it in the Tier 4 race. It's the main question. Do you pit or do you not pit it once in the race? You can make it on a no-stop. Well, you could also make it on a one-stop, depending on how much you can save your tires, your inters, your wets. It also depends on if it dries out at all. It's going to be a major implication strategy-wise. We have 1 minute 15 seconds to go. It's close to the end. Everyone's on track.
Oh, and Crispy with an invalidation. Tough part of the circuit where invalidations are just... Well, you're going to see the penalties here tonight, no doubt about it. Yeah, well, I think if it's a fully wet race, which we've been told it is, and if it doesn't go to inters at any point, I strongly think you're going to see half the field probably go for the 0 stop. There's going to be drivers out there that will think of going the 1 stop, but yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out. And Zach, no. As Axe goes to the top with 26.358, so the last laps are all happening here at the moment to see who can take pole position here for the British Grand Prix.
Yeah, look at the amount of cars in the final sector going to the Vale and Club. Everyone's trying to get space, but it's going to be close for some of these guys to get to the line. Deer Hunter, he's going through Club and Vale. Trick's behind him. Not Tricks, I'm sorry, Jared. And the McLaren, it's going to be really close for him. And the retires. Is that the pit lane? No, it's not. Is that Copse? He's out of qualifying.
I think he may have invalidated his lap time. And here comes Ferrari now. First one of everybody to complete their laps here at the moment. And then it's going to be New Zealand Ryan. Checkered flag, thank you, because on my screen it's not that. Nice game, as we now see Ferrari Nut in the Red Bull. Let's see what he can do. Can he try to challenge the top or be near the top? He goes second.
Whoa.
Ferrari Nut goes second. Here comes New Zealand Ryan, who's invalidated, and he's P4. And here comes Maniko now in the championship fighter course. Needs a good qualifying and only P12 for Maniko here at the moment. Here comes Hoop. What can Hoop do here at the moment? To the line. He goes P5 here at the moment. Let's go down to... Where's Bailey now? To the line. Excuse the scrolling chat. It's now P3 goes Bailey. Ever so close here in qualifying right now. Moo Moo Milk has invalidated. Supply Raptors invalidated. Synapse invalidated. Jared is not invalidated though. Let's see what Jared can possibly do. He's only a 10th, but if he can find time, Neymar doesn't have a wing. Deer Hunter's coming towards the end of his run, so it's really only Deer and Jared that can do something here at the moment. Deer Hunter now to the last few corners. Let's see what he can do. Can he move his way up? He cannot. Can Jared move his way up? He can, to only P9, and look how close it is between the field. It's unbelievable.
Yes, everyone in the top 18 is within a second. That is incredible. And look at the top three. Everyone in the top three is within a 10th of a second, with Bailey just missing out by 4 milliseconds on Ferrari Nut, and Axe beating the Red Bull by 66 hundredths of a second. It looks so much better to see not the white bull, but regardless, Ferrari Nut will start on the front row for this British Grand Prix.
I must say that I think it's kind of disappointing it's not going to rain, because it's how close it is throughout the field, but who knows, the rain could make it even more interesting. Axe on pole position, my co-commentator for tomorrow for ACC. Don't forget to tune in for that at Bathurst. It's Axe, Ferrari Nut, Bailey, Boss Cookie, Ryan in 5th. And there's the rest of the field. Chandler Sater in position number 8. And folks, stay with us. We'll be back in a matter of moments to go racing here at the British Grand Prix. Did you know Breakout Racing League has brand new merch, ladies and gentlemen? Yes, we got the tees, we got the hoodies, we got the phone cases, we've got that sexy mug there. Oh, that mug looks very good. We got the leggings, we got absolutely everything your heart desires for Breakout Racing League's new merch. And don't forget, if you want to purchase Breakout Racing League merch, Fan 10 to get 10% off your purchase, as we now head to the track. Right, get ready here folks for what is sure to be a wet one here at the British Grand Prix. And if audio levels are a little bit weird, yes they are, because Mitchie might just throw out Streamlabs to go to start stream for OBS come next week. Well, won't be next week, it'll be, let's have a look, see the next round, and
4th of December.
That's the calendar, by the way, everybody. And when I return for the Belgium Grand Prix, since I will not be here for Hungary. But I'm drunk right now, but go Bailey. Well, there you go. Port in the chat showing support for Bailey here in this one, in a fully wet Grand Prix. And Katra, what do you think's going to go down in this one? Who knows?
Well, it's... Unlike last week, we don't have anyone starting on the intermediates, Axe, but it also means it's going to be a... I mean, to be fair, that strategy had a chance of working. Unfortunately, he just did not get it all together in the end because of that spin at turn 8. But everyone else is going to be on the same strategy here, so it could be really depending on who stays on the track. We saw a lot of, I guess, interesting strategies, a lot of interesting... I guess, lines in the Tier 4 race, trying to find the grip, find where exactly you could overtake, but it's going to be a real adjuster. Some of these guys have chosen wet setups. That's why they were a little bit slower in qualifying than they probably should have been. Other drivers have chosen dry setups because they didn't have a wet setup. Other drivers, they didn't really care. They just loaded in with whatever they had. Well, let's going to see how these different layers right now. Let's see. Does Axe, what is he going to do? We see Hardy's kind of a decent way of wet Ferrari Nut, and same with Bailey in front. There's a little bit of gap between those guys. But it's really going to be about who can stay on the track and who can make the most of these wet conditions off the start, because no DRS, if you break away and can stay consistent for the entire 26 laps and hope for not a safety car, you could be at the end and into Parc Ferme on the top step of the podium come at the end of this race.
That's right. It's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out. in this one, and how it's going to play out in the end. How's the long run going to be? What is everyone's thoughts going to be throughout this race? What do they all want to do? Who knows? It's going to be a good one. 19 cars. It's just going to be absolutely craziness. And folks, stay with us for it, because it's going to be a stellar Grand Prix, no doubt about it. And wet tyres on for everybody for what is sure to be a good one here tonight. And do not forget as well that penalties will be a story throughout this race, no doubt about it, because it can be around the British Grand Prix. So let's see how it all plays out. It's Axe, Ferrari Nut, Bailey, Cookie and Ryan. The last time we saw wet race was actually Austria, and we've seen many races so far this season here in Tier 1. A couple we've seen actually. So this should be interesting to see how it all plays out. And we're waiting on Fast AD to line up at the back. What's going to go down here at the start? Axe, Ferrari Nut, who knows? This is going to be an interesting battle. Turn 1, no doubt about it.
Quick little fun fact before we get to the lights. Ryan has only started 2 races. He's finished second both times.
And he told me before the stream that if he gets on the podium, expect to be a Kimi Raikkonen type of interview, as we're about to get underway for 26 laps around Silverstone. Waiting for Fast AD to line up at the back. And we're about to get underway. 26 laps, the British Grand Prix about to get underway. We're racing. And it looks like it's a great start for Axe. He's gotten a great jump. One of the Haas's at the back there moved right over as we come into turn 1. Ferrari-Nut's actually come back at him. Ferrari-Nut will take the lead. Great job by Ferrari-Nut there. He didn't get the jump, but then he came back at Axe there and takes it. As Bailey now P3, Boss Cookie's had a big moment behind. It's Bedlam behind between the field at the moment. Everyone trying to get the best position they possibly can. Here comes Mumu now on Chandler Sater for position number 8. He will come through at the moment, and there's a car around. It's Supply Raptor in the Alfa Romeo. That's not good for him, as Crispy's got a 5-second penalty after gaining 1 position. Hoop now goes up into position number 5, and everybody now takes it steady for now here in this one.
Yeah, what happened with Ferrari-Nut and Axe is Axe had a great first phase, but bogged down tremendously in the second phase. But look now, Ryan now chasing after Bailey, but what happened to Cookie is he collided with Axe down into Village. That kind of unsettled his car, and he lost a ton of positions. He's down to 10th. That was from a horrible start from the Alpine's point of view. But now we got to get on the road, kind of get into the rhythm, and Ryan is trying to go. Bailey is a little bit, I mean, to Ryan's point of view, holding him up. But we'll see how that holds off right now, as we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 with about 5 tenths of each other separating them.
Yeah, no doubt about it. It's Ryan now looking to go for around the outside of Bailey and gets it done easily. Ryan does not need, Bailey does not really need to fight with Ryan at the moment, looking at Bailey's championship, and that is a namer that's gone a bit further back. The Alpines are just drifting back and back and back here at the moment, as now Bosco tried to look for down Drix for a second, and we got Manika up there at the moment as well. That middle pack, back of the pack, they're all battling out here at the moment. Drunken Shamrock and Deer Hunter go side by side in the wet at turn 1. It can be ugly, and it could get ugly here between these two at the moment. Side by side, we're on board here with Sirhan to give us a good idea of it, and Deer Hunter holds on for now, but we go through the back. Oh, and that's Cookie looking for the move here on Driggs. There's a bit of contact. Driggs a little bit sideways, and they're still holding on here at the moment as Cookie trying absolute best he possibly can to go for this move on Driggs for P11 and gets it done. As we go back up to the front, Ryan trying to close in on Axe for position number 2.
Oh, Drix is fighting back on him. He went for the move, the switcheroo, Boskirky did, and he went a little bit deep, but this time he went on the outside. Boskirky went back down the inside a little bit and through Woodcut. He'll grab 11th again from the McLaren, but that now brings Miniko into the action. He wants to look for this move, but don't look now. Neymar's behind him. Both Alpines were struggling on that lap 2. Actually, lap 1, yellow flag, but it looks like fast. No, it's not. Yellow flag through. Not sure who exactly it was.
I don't know what that was either.
But back on Miniko and Drix, almost pushing him through Maggots, now into Beckets, seeing if they can get a better run down the straight.
Meniko right there as well. We got Neymar there as well. That's Meniko for the move here on Driggs. Driggs defense is a little bit of contact, more contact. There's contact happening everywhere. Neymar now trying to get up through this here at the moment if he possibly can. Gonna send it here on Meniko. Close between the two. I'm trying to get a good angle on it, but I can't. There's contact all around here at the moment. And apologies that I don't get a good angle on that, but my goodness me, it's meanwhile. Yeah, Crispy and Jared side by side. There's contact once again. There's been contact everywhere so far in this race. Throughout the field, the other AlphaTauri makes contact with the other AlphaTauri, and that was a tongue twister saying that, as now the AlphaTauri's going side by side here at the moment, as Mumu holds, well, gets it done on Crispy, excuse me. Chandler Satan now is under pressure here by the Ferrari of Sinav. Here at the moment, Sinav looks for it. No, he does not get it done here at the moment. Here comes Crispy here at the moment, and he will get it done. No, because Mumu might just hold on here. Jared and Bailey going up ahead, by the way. You can see it on your screen. As well, we just hold our breath there for a second and everything stays calm for now.
Yep, little quick word. Raptors ahead of Sirhan, battle for 18th, but Bailey has been falling back. Ryan got past, Hoop got past him. There's now a 3-second buffer between Hoop and Ryan, and now Jared got past him. Looks like the Alfa Romeo may have not the best pace so far in the wet on this first 3 laps of the British Grand Prix.
Yeah, it's going to be to see how it all plays out here at the moment. Bailey losing some time. Crispy starting to close in. So Bailey's got to keep an eye out here. See how Meniko's gotten through on Driggs. Meniko now up in the P12. Does Driggs fight it back? Does Driggs fight it back? No, he does not. So as down Neymar.
Oh, look at Neymar though.
That's right, that's the fastest lap of the race. And here the car's coming through now. Oh, and that is... that was Cookie actually going a little bit wide there. Cookie going a little bit wide there. Up ahead. Alrighty, we're back. We're back. Apologies for that. Mitchie yelled some swear words, and we're back at the moment. Sinav has gone around, and Chandler's had a moment as well. What has gone down?
Looks like they've had collision down the Wellington Straight, and both of them went into the barriers on either side. Both, I believe, have front wing damage. Definitely Sinav. I'm not sure about Chandler.
Yeah, chat that everyone that's watching right now, or ones that have not left, if it does go out again, just stick with us. It will definitely come back in a good 30 seconds. So, yeah. So, apologies for that. I'm moving soon as now Hoop's around.
Hoop has gone around.
Well.
Looks like that's exit of Vale.
And he's just...
oh, Crispy's around too.
And Crispy's around too. It's all happening here at the British Grand Prix right now. And, my goodness me. Sinav now comes into the lane. And Ferrari did the fastest lap, by the way, and so the top 3 are pretty much staying put where they are right now. So lots have gone down in this race right now, and yeah, Driggs up in the position number 9, Boss Cookie P7. So everybody, wow.
What I was going to say, by the way, Sinav has gone on the intermediate tire, the Ferrari coming in the pit lane. So maybe, I mean, the forecast calls for full wet, so I'm not sure if it's ready for that yet. But I was going to say, and it's still kind of true, the top 3, look at the breakaway.
Well, I'll tell you this right now, looking at the conditions, I don't know if it's his time, but
I don't think either.
But you never know. You never know. That looks like...
It's true.
Echo say in the chat, looks like slicks. Well, I don't know. Driggs down with a time penalty here at the moment. Ryan is trying to get close here to Axe. Trying his absolute hardest. And he's... goodness me, settled down there, Kiwi. As now, Mumu, P6 at the moment, trying to get close here to Bailey, who's sticking in with that top 5 so far, so not too bad at the moment as Ferrari gets another fastest lap of this race.
Yeah, it just all seemed to happen that last couple of laps. I mean, what Sirhan and Chandler, they crashed, went around. Unfortunately, the speed stream couldn't get it. Hoop got a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane and has retired in the pit lane. He's already out on lap 6 of the British Grand Prix. He's not going to take any further part, and will finish 19th. Crispy now have a 5-second time penalty. Will he retire as well? Yes, he will. That's now 2 in 1 lap.
Well, that is an interesting one. 2 in 1 lap out of this one. Both retiring in the pit lane. And, yeah, what else can you say there? What else can you say? As now, well, I don't know. As now, yeah, well, Sirhan's in now. Well, that's actually a wing change for Sirhan. Keep an eye on Sinav here at the moment, because
both Ferraris.
Because, well, it's actually 41 seconds behind Chandler, so I mean, he's not going to gain much, but you never know, you never know. But lap 6 of 26 here in this Grand Prix. It's pretty much steady at the moment. Everyone's pretty much in their own
no,
little
it's not. Raptor and Drunken Shamrock, exit of Chapel. Raptor had the smallest of gaps, fitted his car in, and got the move. That was a great move into Chapel, but with the Shamrock, he's going to fight back. Going into Stowe around the outside. Raptor breaks later. Is there going to be an undercut? No, he's not. He's going to be too far behind. Raptor takes 12th.
Now, this race is going to get interesting here for a second, because Sinav is actually, it's very close between him with time with Chandler, but we don't know what if Chandler's on the pace or not. So we'll keep an eye out if any times gets gained here by the drivers on the intermediates, because if they do, that might get other drivers throughout the field thinking. We'll have to wait and see as we go back up to the front. Ryan's still right behind Axe. Still not enough to go for something at the moment. He's just got to sit and wait and hope that that Axe makes a mistake or something. That's his only real chance here at the moment, because really the gaps are a bit of it's a bit forming between first and second and third right now. And Jared's slowly catching up to Ryan, but not by much. So keep an eye on that as of right now.
I'm trying to see exactly, he actually may have it now. The last lap for the leader, Ryan, obviously, was a 140.221. The last lap for the intermediate runners, that's being Zinab, was a 142.7. 2 seconds off a bit. That's close.
Yeah, it is close. So, but again, they're not going to be a factor in the race, but they could be a factor in terms of if they start bringing out good times, it could get the front runners thinking of coming in on into thinking that maybe we can gain some time. It's now see here with Bailey now running a little bit wide. Moomoo now trying to get close here for a move here for position number 5 here right now. Meanwhile, Driggs and Neymar's through, and Driggs now goes down to P10. Neymar up into position number 9 in a points paying position.
Yeah, it looks like they may have had a little bit of contact coming the exit of Vale into Club, but obviously Neymar went around the outside and got that move stuck. But I had a little bit of a moment there because I was on board with Axe. He almost lost the car. Now you look at the time. He's lost 5/10. Ryan's back up with stuff.
Yeah, Ryan's back up there. Again, as I said before, he just needs a slight moment here from Axe to really have the chance to get this move done. That's what he needs, and if he can get it done, it'll be so important for him. If he can get it done, it's going to be close to see how it all pans out. But again, round here in the wet, racing it's very tough, but we're seeing moves being done left, right, and centre, up and down the field here so far. Supply Raptor is gained a bit more back at the back of this group to try and get some points here tonight for Alfa Romeo, to just fall further broaden their Constructors' Championship so far. And if they could do, if Supply Raptor can do that, that'll be very important. And Raptor showing he's definitely got a bit of pace under him right now, but he's got to get past here Hunter and Driggs here right now and got back up through the field. Movement still trying to get close to Bailey.
Yeah, he was really close. Oh, off the track. I think it was Moscow going in. Yes, he's missed a complete corner. He went on the grass, hit a couple braking boards, and now is off the track.
And 5 second, yeah, I knew that was going to come. And so Maniko looks here on Boss Cookie and will get it done. Easy does it. As Maniko P7 in this race, important for him, no doubt about it.
Well, one thing to also look back on, you know, the conversation about with Zena having the intermediate tire, he's lost about 2.3 seconds on Chandler. Looks like that's not working out right now.
Yeah, it's not looking great right now, but looking great for those 6 runners right now. Not really gaining much out of it, so we'll keep an eye on them if they become a factor later on or not.
Keep an eye right now on the 2 Alpines side-by-side in the exit of Brookfield. Sorry to cut you off. Into Brooklands. Side-by-side, Neymar gets the position.
Look, he's going to try to look for it back here if he possibly can. Look, no, he can't at the moment. So, there we go. So, Neymar now, position number 8 in the Alpine. The former teammates, but now, well, half teammates just for tonight as Cookie gets a time penalty. Jared is caught.
Way off the track.
Oh, who's caught the track?
Cookie went straight off the track.
Oh dear.
Chapel.
Meanwhile, Jared is caught right up to this group of the top 3. So, I said it before, as he now does the fastest lap of the race, I said it before, Jared was slowly closing, and he has. He's closed up on this group and going to try and see what he can possibly do, if he can possibly challenge and get past Ryan for a possible podium.
Right now, one battle to look out for as well is still Mumu. He's just trying to get every possible chance he get to Alfa Romeo of Bailey in front of him. Rix and Deer Hunter, as Cookie's actually gone off the track. He lost multiple positions, goes back on front of Header Jones and Shamrock. Now, look at Raptor. He's looking to move on Deer Hunter.
Oh,
never mind. He almost lost the car.
Yeah, almost a big moment there for Raptor. And now he's going to, Cookie's going to try to fight him back here. Looking for the move. Side by side, these two go. Oh my God, and he's just closed the door right on him there, saying, no, you don't. And now does Cookie look for it back? Oh, he's turned him!
No! He's turned him!
Oh my goodness me, Raptor goes around. And, boy, that was ugly.
Yes, it was. That was a little bit more of NASCAR racing than it was Formula 1 racing in the wet here, but that's now going to be a possible stewards inquiry going to the way of Boss Cookie there. Supply Raptor now down to 14th. He didn't lose a position to Chandler because Chandler's a little bit farther back, but that's now going to close up that Mercedes, that gap between him and Supply Raptor. But one thing to look out for, as Jared's actually been let through by Ryan.
Well, there we go. Jared now goes up into position number 3 in this race. Chandler Sater now with a time penalty. Ferrari Nut is still your race leader and doing very nicely in this one. A very good margin over Axe right now. And by the way, the 2 Ferraris came back into the lane. Cookie has retired, I believe, in the pit lane, yes.
Yes, he has. Supply Raptor has followed him in, and Sirhan is also in the pit lane as well. They've definitely gone, and I guess retracted that statement. Chandler's in as well.
Chandler retires in the pit lane, so we're up to 4 who've retired in the pit lane so far here this evening. So there we go. Jared, Ryan. So Jared now going to try and see if he can close up here on Axe for position number 2, if he possibly can. And then look at the margin, 7.8 seconds between Ryan and Bailey. So it's pretty much between this top 4 right now. Pretty much for this race. Ferrari Nut 2 seconds, that's what he needs. And that's a good margin for him to have on lap 11 of 26 in this race right now, as Mumu gets another time penalty.
Well, I've actually seen something really interesting. If you go to Minico, one thing I've noticed in the last couple of straightaways is he's actually moving off the racing line and going onto the puddles. Is he overheating?
Possibly.
He does it again down the hanger straight. Is it getting towards the chance we could possibly see intermediates being a valid strategy? It didn't work before. Is it working now?
Well, it'll be interesting to see if it will. But you just don't know. You just don't know at the moment. You just don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what goes down these last few laps. We're getting close to the halfway point here at the British Grand Prix here at Silverstone. As now Mumu now trying to close up here once again, still on Bailey. Those two are going to be in a long race battle, no doubt about it. And these four are going to be in a big battle as well for the rest of this one, especially between second, third and fourth right now in this race. On lap 12 of 26, Ryan has just done the fastest first sector in the race so far, as a matter of fact.
Well, one thing you said about this battle between Bailey and Mumu is you said that this is going to be a race-long battle. Well, the last couple of corners for Mumu, it may not end that way because he's absolutely trying to push this out for Towery way past limits, almost losing the car in 3 of the first 5 corners. If he doesn't, I don't know, either his tires are falling off, his tires are overheating, or he's trying to use that battery a little bit too much. But now look at the battle between him and Bailey. Now look at the gap between him and Minico. He's coming, the Haas. Yeah,
that's right. It's this gap's really forming here at the moment, and it's a big gap. And Bailey now, pretty much Bailey's guaranteed a top 5 fit P5 no matter what, unless Bailey makes it a bottle. But yeah, all Bailey has to do is just keep the car straight and should get a P5, which I don't think Bailey will mind. Halfway through the British Grand Prix, it's Ferrari Nut still leading by 2 seconds over Axe. Jared in position number 3, and we got Ryan in position number 4. A good old battle here for P2 right now in this Grand Prix, but it's pretty much anyone. Oh, Axe is gone!
Oh, no!
Oh dear, I'll be sure to bring that up to him tomorrow because I'm a terrible commentator. And he has gone around down at position number 4, and that's just given Jared and Ryan a gift.
Yes, it really has. One thing I was actually going to point out is Jared and Ryan both, you know how they let each other through. Ryan let Jared through. Well, there was about 1.2 second gap to him and Axe whenever Jared got the position through. We caught Axe, but he couldn't do anything because of the dirty air. Well, now Axe is obviously behind him because of that spin. Well, that could help Jared here to go catch up to Ferrari Nut. 2.5 seconds.
Yep, 2.5 seconds is the margin. And can you see Jared look for a possible chance to go for it here on Ferrari Nut for the win? We'll have to wait and see because it's only 2.4. That margin could definitely come back down. Throughout the field right now, D Hunter in a points pay position in position number 9. Right now we've got Driggs, and then we've got Drunken Shamrock in position number 11 as Driggs gets another time penalty. Driggs is getting penalties left, right and centre here at the moment. And we've got Fast AD, we've got Sinav and Suhan, the Ferrari boys, just praying for a safety car to get them in the race somehow. As Jared now with the fastest lap of the race.
One thing to point out with that fastest lap of the race, he's actually lost a bit of time to Ferrari Nut. So it may have been a marginal improvement on his lap and a marginal improvement to Ferrari's Nut lap. I mean, right now, look at the two almost flying ahead. They actually almost dropped Jared that last time, or I'm sorry, Ryan that last time by, but almost a second ahead. He's now barely within that window right there. You see 9/10 of a second, someone's around, and that may be, yes, the Martin Shamrock.
Shamrock around, and Shamrock in the Aston continues on down to P12. That brings Fast AD up a position. So Shamrock losing out there at the moment. So it's still 2.5, very close between Jared and Ferrari Nut in terms of times. Here at the moment, it's Supply Raptor all the way down 13th, 38.948. And I said it before, a fresh wet tyre could definitely be quick, but guys at the back and the front really not going to be going for a fresh wet tyre unless they wanted to get very, very crazy if they wanted to. But they're not going to do that because we're coming up to lap 15 of 26 here in the British Grand Prix. And the laps are closing down here at the moment, closing down for the Ferrari Nut to possibly get this win.
One thing to look out for is that gap between Mumu and Minico. He's now within a second. He's almost in that fight. Bailey goes a little bit wide through Stowe. That's going to open up an opportunity. He's just too far back through Vale.
Yeah, Maniko trying to see if he can close up in here at the moment and try to get within this fight between these guys if he possibly can. Won't be easy, but definitely can do it here at the moment as Driggs comes into the lane.
One thing to look out for, though, additionally, is Jared's actually lost a significant amount of time, about 4 or 5 tenths per second on Ferrari in front. And, well, this is probably showing that maybe Jared is not as fast as he once was that early in the stint, has his tires gone a little bit less grip, and the other McLaren has gone intermediate. Drix thinks it's time.
Driggs going for something different and seeing what he can possibly do here at the moment. We'll have to wait and see if that will work out for him or not. I think it could, but we'll have to wait and see, everybody here at the moment on those intermediate tyres. We'll keep an eye out and see what will go down and what time he can possibly gain if it's got enough. But in my opinion, as we look on board here with Ferrari, it is still bucketing down.
Well, I mean, I keep talking about this battle, but it's multiplying. Neymar is now within a decent amount of time of Minico in front, who's still within that 1 second gap of Mumu, who's actually gotten a really good run through Chapel on Bailey down the hangar straight. He's not going to be close enough. He's using all his battery deployment he has. He's just not close enough for the Alfa Romeo to stow.
Yep, trying to get as close as he possibly can. But he just hasn't been close enough to go for it. It's for the whole race is trying to get close enough for a move on Bailey, but just hasn't gotten close enough to really do it here at the moment. As we're closing in very shortly on 10 to go. Supply Raptor now with a time penalty. And as of right now, Drinks is not really gaining much, and Supply Raptor's closing in. So that pretty much confirms that we're on a fully wet race for the rest of this one. No doubt about it. The inters are not going to be a factor here in this one.
Name has actually gained a significant amount of time, except for those last 2 corners, so I don't know why
Meanwhile,
he said anything. But look at Mumu, yes.
Mumu looks... Oh, there's contact! Mumu's gone! Well, that was a move, and it didn't work out for Mumu there, as he now goes back down into position number 9. And boy, oh boy.
Minico's going to be the next one to challenge the Alfa Romeo of Bailey, but how much longer does he have before Neymar gets a little impatient behind him? He's caught him down. He's now within half a second.
Yeah, Neymar's closing here on Minico. And can Neymar, we know Neymar can go for moves, and he'll try to see if he can go for it here on Minico for position. We'll have to wait and see. Minico now still P6, P7 Neymar, P8 Deer Hunter as Ryan gets a time penalty, but I don't think he really minds since he's pretty much got a big gap over Axe and will probably get a P3 in this one, but we'll have to wait and see at the moment. And this pack of cars still right with each other right now. Neymar, Minico and Bailey. This is a significant fight here for position number 5 in this race with 10 laps to go.
There are a lot of people who are kind of in their own postal code right now. For example, Shamrock Raptor is kind of getting there. Fast AD is kind of getting there. Axe is a big one as well. I mean, he's 7 seconds behind and 7 seconds ahead. I mean, you just kind of drive this moment. We have about 10 laps to go, but Neymar's closing in. Minico going defensive.
Minico just not wanting to give the opportunity for Neymar to go for it, and knows Neymar will go for it. Just knows that. So this is going to be interesting to see what this battle's going to play out here at the moment. Bailey trying to stop up ahead. It's going to be interesting to see this battle, as that's a McLaren. It's Drix.
Well, you know, we usually like to talk about statistics, and I can, you said Neymar will go for it. How about this? Here's a statistic for you. If Neymar is given an opportunity to go for a move, about 100% of the time he'll go for that move. There's a statistic for you.
That's a pretty good statistic right there, as Streaksound gets a time penalty once again. 2.7 between Ferrari and Jared. It's closing slightly, but it's not closing enough to really be a challenge here in this race at the moment. So we'll have to keep an eye on it once again, as I said, in this one. Lap 18 of 26 here at the moment. And it's going to be one to watch, including this battle. Bailey and Nico. Good fight this will be between these two. Neymar right there. And Neymar going to see, again, as we saying, one moment, anything can go down as everything's going off in the chat at the moment. But hello, everybody. Hope you enjoy your time here at the moment. 22 people watching Tier 1. And, of course, don't forget, week break is next week. Thanksgiving in the US. And it's going to be an absolutely, well,
Here comes
great week
Neymar.
break. As Neymar now looks for the move here on Minico. Looks for it, side by side. Hold your breath, because I'm getting flashbacks. As now the Alpine goes through. Driggs is retired in the pit lane. And another one to retire in the pit lane here tonight. As Neymar gets it done with actually a very good move.
It was a great move, and that's now 6 out of 6 retiring in the pit lane. And, well, now Deer Hunter is the next one to go chase after Minico with that 3-second time penalty that he has. He's actually in that penalty window. Now Neymar is the next car to go chase after Bailey. No one can. It's like a revolving door of cars to go chase after that Alfa Romeo. None have been successful so far.
Yeah, it goes right in the chat. It's actually 5 that have retired in the pit lane now. As Jared.
Okay, you know what?
Fastest lap of the race. And now Jared is closing in slightly here at the moment. And 2.2 the margin. So, I said before, everybody, we could have an interesting fight towards the end of this one. How those wet times going to be towards the end of this race. I'll have to keep an eye on it here at the moment. As we watch, Neymar now going to try and see and challenge Bailey here for position number 5.
Yeah, as Jared's actually been gaining a significantly amount of time. Let's just talk about that for a second. Now 2.3 seconds. Remember, it was at 3.1 or 3.5 for a couple of laps ago. Last lap for Ferrari, it's a 39.2. Last lap for Jared, a 38.8. About 4/10 improvement. That's lap alone.
Sorry, I was just laughing at something in the chat. As we see through the, I'm just going to go for the field real quickly for you all. Ferrari nut, Jared, 1.9 seconds. Rides 1.4 between him and Jared now, but it's got a good margin between him and Axe to get that podium. Axe, Bailey, Neymar, and then we've got Minico, Deer Hunter, Mumu, Fast AD, Drunken Shamrock, Supply Raptor, Sinav, and Sirhan. 14 cars as Jared gets another fastest lap.
Yep, that's 38.7 compared to Ferrari Nuts 39.1. Another 4/10 improvement.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. And it's going to be just to see if he can get anything. I've said it's interesting to see so many times in this race. Is there? We'll watch Neymar. Because Neymar right now, I feel like is close enough here. Close enough to possibly challenge for a move here very soon on Bailey. I feel like he's moments away on going for it here at the moment. Keep an eye on Neymar, but just not close enough right now. Minico's a bit further back. Really the only fight here on track right now, except for the top two, which the margin's slowly going back up once again between Jared and Ferrari Nuts. So it's back to 2 seconds as a matter of fact. So, well, we'll just have to keep an eye on it, as I say again, because it's just, I feel like Ferrari Nut, unless he makes a mistake, is going to win this race. But
it's going to be close, though.
Yeah, it's going to be close.
Well, it's mainly, let's look at the ERS, though. I know Ryan has a penalty, but let's talk about his, actually, now Mumu has a penalty as well. Ryan has 83% battery deployment. Jared has 35. Ferrari Nut has 60.
Well,
and Jared has
well, there we go. Well, folks, let's just stop hyping up that, because it doesn't matter now. as we'll hype up this battle because it's Neymar and Bailey. Oh, Neymar's going to look to do a Mitchie 950 who did it yesterday on Turco in Tier 3 as now Neymar gets it done and goes up into position number 5. Bailey down into P6 and there we go. And yes, I just named myself.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
You need to be so successful in life that you can use yourself as an example.
Hey, I was very proud of that move I made yesterday.
I can tell.
6 laps to go here in the British Grand Prix. And, well, all I can say is that we're pretty much just winding down the laps here at the moment, everybody. May as well, while we sit here and wait, there's the calendar right now for, let you know, Hungary in 2 weeks' time, the Hungarian Grand Prix. It's always wild at the Hungarian Grand Prix, and anything can go down there, especially in all throughout the tiers. Rain can even be a factor at the Hungarian Grand Prix, so join us then in 2 weeks' time for that one. It will not be me, it will be Katra and probably Dima. So
it'll be someone.
It'll be someone, or Katra will do it alone. 5 to go.
I posted that.
Oh dear.
Well,
yes, Scott.
once again, the battle, the battle for 5th. Bailey locks up. He goes almost off the track completely at Vale. This is going to be a huge opportunity for Minico down the inside. He's not going to be close enough. But now, Deer Hunter's in this battle. It's multiplying again.
Oh man, it's getting interesting here at the moment. Deer Hunter's got right up in this fight as well. Deer Hunter's about 5 seconds behind this group, and now he's right up in this group right now. The Haas's are just haunting behind the Alfa Romeo, trying to get close enough for a move if they can. Oh, Minico! I thought a brilliant moment there as our Deer Hunter, as now Supply Raptor, as a matter of fact, with the fast lap of the race. 38.448.
Wow, that's another good lap. That's, what is that, a 10th improvement, I think it was, from the fastest lap prior?
I said, well, actually, he's actually on 10 lap old wet, so well, there you go. By the way, Ryan has slowly clawed that margin back between him and Jared, but Jared's clawed the margin back a little bit between him and Corona, but that does not really matter since we've got penalties. As we see now, once again, Minico going to see if he can haunt Bailey in his dreams right now and try to get for a move. Have to wait and see. He's not close enough, but Deer Hunter could maybe be close enough for a move on his teammate. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, it was the poor exit through Chapel there that really got, Minico was a little bit in the grass. Now has another 3-second time penalty. That is now up to 6 seconds.
Dear. Oh dear. That's not what he wants. He's just going to lose him time. And for those wanting the penalties, there they are. Probably should have just kept it on the penalty since we all know what tie everyone's on. 4 to go. And things have just been loose in this race here. In the commentary box and on the racetrack here at the moment. And in the chat as well. I see you all. But 4 to go. And it's looking like victory for Verona. A superb start to this race, got the good secondary start, and it's just held on beautifully for a great drive here at the moment in the Red Bull. And right now, unless something crazy happens, we'll get this win. And Ryan and Jade will get second and third. Axe with a P4 right now will be a little bit disappointed because, well, could have been a podium for Axe here in this one. As we see throughout the field, Minico 6 seconds worth of penalties. 6 seconds worth of penalties for Neymar as well. 3 seconds for Jared and Ryan. 6 seconds for Mumu. 9 seconds for Fasone, which should allow Drunken Shamrock a points position in PT.
Yeah, one big thing on Verona, by the way, is post-Stewart inquiries. He actually grabbed a podium in Austria a week ago. He now wants to replicate that again. Well, quick talking about him. He only has one warning to his name. His previous lap was a 38.5. He's pushing relentlessly, and that was a 38.7 from Jared. The lap prior, it was a 4/10 improvement the other way. Jared was ahead of Ferrari at 38.9 compared to a 38.5. So it seems to kind of been teetering, but Ryan is now closing in, and this is now for position. He no longer has to wait behind.
No longer has to wait behind, and it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out. And Shamrock now with a time penalty, and Supply Raptors closing in on him here. Now we can raise the voice a little bit here, because this could be interesting, because this will very much be for a battle for P10, unless these two battle out too hard and Fast AD gets a bit further ahead. We'll have to wait and see. But this is a battle here now for position. It could maybe be for P10.
Yeah, Miniko's actually dropped off the back of Bailey, now 1.1 seconds to him, 6/10 to his teammate Deer Hunter behind him, but those 6 seconds are not really going to help him. He's going to be behind Deer Hunter regardless, and the gap's Neymar, with Bailey not having a time penalty, Mumu now having another one, 9 seconds to his name as well. He'll be safe in P9, his 18-second gap to Fast AD, but Neymar has gained about 3.6 seconds, 3.5 on Bailey, but those 6 seconds is still going to hurt him. He has about a lap and a half to do it.
Yes, indeed. And we have 2 to go. 1.8 seconds, the margin between Ferrona and Jared. And Deer Hunter, he is in position number 8. He could maybe get a P6 here, Deer Hunter, but it depends what the times will be, the gap speed towards the end of this one. So he could maybe get up 2 positions towards the end of this race. As we watch now, Supply Raptor tried his absolute best to go for the midfield on Drunken Shamrock. It's not going to be enough here, and it's just not enough for now. But they're closing on Fast AD, so this is definitely for a position number 10 for the final points paying position here on this one here at the British Grand Prix. So they're going to be battling hard here at the moment. Raptor would love to get into that point, because that will help Alfa Romeo and the constructors. There's a little bit of contact between the two. He goes for it. Side by side, these two will go. Axe now with a time penalty, but now Supply Raptor pulls back behind Drunken Shamrock here at the moment with 2 laps to go in this one.
You know, I was really excited for a second. I'm like, oh my God, an overtake, it's gonna happen. And he fought around the outside. Good move once again to get the position back for Drunken Shamrock up to 11th position once more, because that is very well, like you said, full position. About 3-second gap. That's about 6 seconds in their penalty window for Fast AD, and they're well within that. Fastest lap just went to the top 3 once again. They're pushing Jared even faster, 1.7 seconds to gap, but we're now on the final lap of the British Grand Prix.
Yes, we are, and keep an eye on this fight, everybody, because this is going to be an interesting. Oh, this is coming down penalty, Raptor. Well, that's pretty much guaranteed. The Aston Martin point here at the moment. Well, point here at the moment on the final lap, and it's just not going to be enough. So, final lap here at the British Grand Prix. Ferrari Nut has done superbly to win this one, and 2 behind. Jared tried to really put it under pressure, but just wasn't enough. And Ferrari Nut right now is going to get a very good victory here at the British Grand Prix. Jared and Ryan will be 2nd and 3rd. Axe P4 on the final stages here of this one. Here's Raptor once again. We'll go to Ferrari Nut in a second. Side by side, these two go, and Raptor gets it done. No, he's around.
No, he doesn't.
And he's come back
Saves
onto
it.
the track. And my goodness me, that was a moment there. And that should give, as Ryan gets another time penalty, but he's got the podium anyway. Here comes Ferrari Nut. Red Bull will win here at the British Grand Prix. Ferrari Nut wins the British Grand Prix. Jared gets another fastest lap. Ryan comes home in 3rd. Axe in P4. It'll be Neymar P5. Well, because penalties will be affected towards the end of this one as well. But that is the British Grand Prix done and dusted, and Ferrari not picking up a superb victory.
Yes, it is a great victory from him. He was consistent and quick the entire Grand Prix and didn't get a penalty. That definitely helped him, especially with that gap now 4 seconds, but he still had to be quick, which he was. Deer Hunter beats Minico, battle for 7th and 8th. Moo goes 9th, with 10th being, once again, it's going to be Drunken Shamrock unless a penalty happens in the next 5 seconds. Please don't, because I don't want to have to curse you. Looks like it's not.
And I mentioned to get P6 as we see Raptor. Oh, he looked for it there close. As Drunken Shamrock comes home P11, P10, contact, and everyone in the wall. And that is the British Grand Prix done and dusted. Wow.
Yeah, driver of the day goes to BRL Neymar, and once again, it was a lot of moves from him up through the field. And another good Tier 1 Grand Prix in the wet at Britain.
Yes, it was... Well, it was a decent race. It was a decent race. It was a decent race. It was a bit of repeating a lot of the same things by me because a few times not much was happening. But it was a decent race. A few battles happening. And, yeah, good one here at the British Grand Prix for Tier 1. We'll get our top 3 in just a second for podium interviews. And there's your results. Ferrari Nut, top of the tree here at the British Grand Prix, and it gets it done. So, Ferrari Nut, Jared, Ryan, Axe, Bailey, Neymar, Deer Hunter, Maniko, Mumu, Drunken Shamrock rounds out the top 10. Shout out to Deer Hunter, 6th to 7th. And yeah, there's your field right there, including the 5 DNFs in the pit lane by the drivers. So there we go. So yeah, it was Streaks, J-Light, Boss Cookie, Crispy, and Hooplicious DNF in what was a very wet British Grand Prix. As we will await the who knows if they're all going to join us or not. They don't have to, but we'll just wait as let's see what he says. Oh, okay. Well, I might not look at the message since I forget that I am streaming. But we'll go across here to theatre. First time this week actually going to theatre mode for quite a while. Shocking stuff. And no, not theatre mode. What am I thinking? I've lost my mind. As we will kick things off.
Yes, we will. All right, we'll go to, I would usually say, make sure your audio is included, but it's no issue. Thank you, Mitchie. P3, Ryan, tell us our perspective, or your perspective from that race. And, well, big thing is,
You're not here.
Why'd you let Jared by?
He's not here.
He's not here? I thought he was joined.
No, he's
I
not
saw
here.
him.
Some supercars.
Yeah, he's not here.
Oh.
Well done, Ryan.
Never mind
Great
then.
job on P3 when you probably
brain
won't watch
doesn't
this
exist.
back.
I swear I saw him in the... okay, you know what? I need more glasses. Give me another set on top of the ones I already have. Well, okay. Well, small brain moment. Let's go to Jared then. My bad. Well, P2 then. This is awkward. Tell us your perspective from your race.
The car was an absolute dog in the dryer, so I started nowhere. And then it was good in the wet, but I started too far back, so I didn't have time to get to Ferrari Nut.
All right. Good. And, well, we have a break next week, so what will you be doing on the break? How about that? I don't know. I think that's what you ask.
I don't know. I haven't thought that far ahead. Not doing a fun because I got a break. I don't know.
Fair enough.
well, I can guarantee you that he won't be here for the Hungarian Grand Prix, like most of people in this region. So, um, anyway,
Yes. Christmas.
yes, Christmas Day for us in Australia. Congrats, Jared on P2. We'll move on
Yes.
to Ferrari on the race victory. Pretty much didn't get the start just at the start, but then got the secondary start, made the move at turn 1, got it done, and just controlled it really well at the front.
Yeah, boys! 7 seasons, and that is the first one. I've come so agonizingly close so many times. That feels so damn good. Oh, fuck, yes. Got off the line, got him on the secondary stage to start after we got in about 3rd gear. He got a little bit of wheel slip, but just made the move and then, yeah, just controlled the race. And these 3 kept me honest. So I didn't have a single lap where I wasn't pushing the hell out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Top 3 were definitely pushing the hell out of it. 2 weeks' time, Hungarian Grand Prix. What are you feeling about the Hungarian Grand Prix?
Well, I love the Hungaroring, first off. Last time I was there, Ryan and I were separated by about 4 seconds at the end, so it's a track I really, really enjoy.
Yes, indeed. And congrats on the win, and congrats to our top 3 on the podium. Thank you, Katra, for joining me. And yes, week break, everybody. But tomorrow, ACC finale. Join me and Axe at Mount Panorama, Bathurst.
Oh.
And yeah, join us there for that. About 1.5 hours, I believe, racing. So yeah, join us in for that. Me and Axe in the commentary. So till then, it's a goodbye for now.